What's up, people? Happy Wednesday. Today's episode of GH, I enjoyed it. It wasn't completely boring. I mean, it probably had one or two boring spots to it, but the rest of that, like 90% of this episode was very entertaining at the most. And it was very, it was well done. A lot of the shit was well written. So let me get down to the episode. Patrick and Sabrina, they find out the sex of the baby. It's a boy. So congrats to them. Teresa Castillo, who plays Sabrina, she's gonna be off screen on maternity leave. Rumor is while the actress is on maternity leave, they're hiring a temporary Sabrina to come on the show and portray her until she's ready to come back. So I'm cool with that, long as I'm cool. So yeah, they found out the sex of the baby. Patrick, he does not want Carlos anywhere near the baby, which is understandable. And I don't blame Patrick, he's trying to protect Sabrina, he's trying to protect the baby. I don't blame him. Moving on to more pressing matters. Sean and Duke, they decide to make a move on the Jeromes because Julian is bringing drugs into the town, but they don't want to make a move yet until they talk to Sonny about it first. Sean, he doesn't trust Jordan. He thinks Jordan's up to something, and he would be right. Speaking of Jordan, I love her. Jordan. Oh my God. I love her. A big part of me feels like she's playing Julian. I think somewhere down the line she's playing him. I don't think she's DEA. Maybe she is undercover DEA. Who knows? It's possible. You never know. Because for all Sean knows, remember how how Sean said that Jordan went to prison for 2 years? What if she really wasn't in prison? What if she was undercover during that 2 years? And they had to, pretend like she was in jail. It's possible if the writers are that creative. I think a good storyline could come out of this. Because what if she is DEA? I think it's possible. Like she really could be undercover. She really could be an undercover Fed. I think it's possible. Or if she really is into the drug business, that could be a good storyline too. But my mind is telling me, my instincts are telling me she's definitely undercover. A part of me feels like she's undercover. Why you think she had to send TJ to go live with Sean for a while? It makes sense. Maybe she was working undercover and he, it was too dangerous and she couldn't keep TJ around. It's possible. Speaking of more possibilities, but yeah, Julian, I could definitely see him and Jordan hooking up down the future because they do got chemistry. And you already know Alexis would be pissed. But it was so funny though when Anna Devane and Dante and that cop came in there. Julian thought that they heard him on some wiretap or something like that, but he was wrong. They came there for Carlos for the attempted murder of AJ Quartermain when he broke into the Quartermain mansion. And of course, Carlos trying to play stupid, like he don't know. And Dante basically had him dead to rights. Is what it is. I don't really care for Carlos, truth be told, but I do agree with Anna Devane. Michael needs to calm the fuck down. Like seriously, I understand he's angry, but you need to chillax. Let them do what they do. Just calm down. But if I was him though, I would have kicked his ass. I'm just saying. What? Sorry about that. I would have. Anyway, Carlos, he's boring. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second. Oh my God, I'm sorry about that. Where the hell was I? Yeah, anyway, Carlos is boring. I don't really care for him. Jordan and Julian, I like it. I do think she's setting him up. I definitely do. A part of me, I feel like she's setting him up. Anyway, on to some other shit. Sonny. Okay, can we say Shady Brook? He was. AJ is really getting under his. I love it though. AJ is haunting Sonny. We should have renamed this episode "The Haunting of Sonny Corinthos." We should have renamed it that. It was funny. I like it. It was fucking hilarious. AJ haunting Sonny with his bloody shirt on. That shit was so hilarious. And Sonny was just pissed the fuck. Or Sonny thought that he could handle it or whatever. Like he literally almost took Olivia's head off with that glass. And the way he told Olivia that she was, he just went off on Olivia. A part of me like that too, though, because Olivia is nosy. Like, she really is. Like, she always want to know everything. But Olivia should have had his ass committed. Sonny is... Now he calling Ava Jerome or whatever to help him out or whatever. Sonny is dumb. But that shit was too funny. And I think this is exactly what AJ wanted. To haunt Sonny. So that way Sonny would have no choice but to tell the truth. Or somebody would have him committed to Shady Brook. I'm only mad about the simple fact that AJ didn't tell him that Ava is the one that shot Connie. But I think AJ didn't want to give Sonny the satisfaction, which is understandable. So anyway, Ned. That's the scene that I loved, where Ned was just going ham on Luke, fake Luke, and telling Luke basically to sign a prenuptial agreement. And Luke tried to twist it and say that Ned was the greedy one who was after Tracy's money, and he didn't want to be cut out the will and all this crazy shit. And then talking about where was Ned when Anthony and the Jeromes try to take control of ELQ. But I agree with Ned. Ned didn't need to come back for that because Tracy could handle Anthony Zakara and she can handle the Jeromes. The thing about it is, when Anthony Zakara tried to get control of ELQ, that's during the time where Edward was alive. Edward knew all about it. And Edward made sure it didn't happen. So she had Edward backing her up at that time. He was the controlling owner. Even though Edward told Tracy she was on her own with dealing with Anthony, Edward would have never let that company go because he was the controlling owner. So there's no way he would have let that company go. So he was there as a backup. And Tracy pretty much handled the Jeromes by herself, their takeover attempt. When she fired Ava, she handled that on her own. So I can understand why Ned didn't interfere with that. And then Tracy was just, what killed me was the fact that Tracy, when Luke was telling Ned that he was after Tracy's money and he didn't want to be cut out the will, Tracy was just sitting there not saying nothing. And I'm just looking at Tracy and I'm like, what is she thinking right now? And then when she told Ned to leave, I love that Tracy wisened up and said she wanted a prenup. Thank you, Tracy. Finally, you wised up. Because if you are a longtime viewer of the show, you would know that Tracy, every time somebody come into the Quartermain family, she accuses them of being a gold digger. Emily, Sky, Maya, she accused all of them of being gold diggers, including her own granddaughter, Brooklyn. But when it comes to Luke, she's ready to marry him without a prenup, which is insane to me. But I'm glad that she does want a prenup. Thank you, God. And now I don't get something. This is what I don't understand. How the hell, if Luke marries Tracy without a prenup, I'm an advocate for prenuptial agreements. But if Luke married Tracy without a prenup, how could he get control of ELQ? Tracy is not a shareholder. She's an employee. She's a CEO. She can be fired. She's not a stockholder. The only stockholders in that company are the family. So the only way to get control of the company is getting the shares, which she does not have. 2, in order for him to get the CEO position, the shareholders and the board of directors have to vote him in. So I don't see how he's going to take over that company. I don't see it. How? You need the shares to take it over. I don't know. Maybe the writers, I don't know what the hell they doing, but this whole thing just doesn't make sense. Like, how can you get control of a company by marriage if the person you're marrying doesn't have the shares? How can you do it? It's impossible. And in order to get her CEO position, you have to be voted in by the stockholders or the board of directors. That's how business works. So I don't see how Luke thinks he's going to get it. But Tracy, get the prenup. I think that's everything in this episode. I think I covered everything in this episode. It was a really good episode. I enjoyed it for the most part. So anyway, I hope all of you have I have something else to tell you. There's a brand new newbie coming to the show. Apparently they sent out a casting call for some 40-something-year-old woman. I don't know who the character is. I don't know the details of it, but that's what I heard. So yes, we're getting another newbie. Oh, the joys. Anyway, I hope all you have a great day. See you all tomorrow. Have a great day.